Hey everybody, welcome back to the Next Generation podcast. So today I'd like to report on something on a more positive side. Today I was, doing some research and I found that Prince, who's Michael's oldest son, had actually went to some sort of like a summit and he was a keynote speaker. And the reason why this is so positive because obviously they were going to ask questions about what has Michael taught him? What did your father teach you? What are some life lessons that you take along with you from your father? And we should kind of rewind. So when Michael passed, Prince was about 12. So he didn't have the chance to fully get everything that his father wanted to teach him. But if by 12 years old you were able to gather all those lessons that you're preaching about now, is pretty insane to me. And it says a lot about how Michael really did raise Prince, Paris, and BG. So I'm going to insert some clips here.
Think about the words that really resonated within my own life and what I kind of lived my life by. And the first one that came up was compassion. My father came from very humble beginnings in Gary, Indiana, a very large family in a very small house. So he understood the struggle that it was like, or what it was like to struggle, as well as what it was like to be prosperous. And he wanted us to always remember to never forget to have compassion for the less fortunate, because we can never truly understand where they're coming from. And we should strive to not necessarily put ourselves in their shoes, but to be there and to understand that there are struggles that, like Sophia had mentioned, we do not know.
So Prince said that he was taught to be compassionate and to treat everybody the same, and that the janitor should be treated the same way you would treat the CEO, and to be compassionate for the less fortunate, and talked about his father's very humble beginnings. And it makes me think of this quote, and I believe it was Geraldine Hughes who actually pulled this out, mentioned this. Geraldine Hughes is the author of Redemption. She was the employee of Barry Rothman, and Barry Rothman is the lawyer that represented Jordan Chandler. And she mentioned this quote from the Bible, Matthew 7, verses 15 through 20. And I know there may be some people who aren't religious, but I'm going to mention this because I feel like you don't have to be religious to really understand this quote. So it says, "You will know them by their fruits. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Even so, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a bad tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Therefore, by their fruits you will know them." So, this is basically saying that if you have good in you, then you produce good things. If you have bad in you, you produce bad things, basically. And I'm not getting into the whole thing of people being born good or born evil. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, when you have good in you, you want to do good. And the things that you do will show that you have that kindness, that goodness in you. And to see Prince actually go out there, and he's been doing so much for the Los Angeles community. He's been, doing programs for the youth, for low income. Like, he's just been doing so much and speaking on so much, and I feel like that doesn't really get talked about, especially by us fans. I guess we're so caught up in the bad things that are surrounding Michael, we tend to forget the good things, and he produced good fruit. Prince, I'm just honestly just so proud, and to see him this, he's young and he's making a difference and making it his goal to make this world a better place. And you can see, like, you can just see that he's just so genuine, and you can see so much of his father in him, how he was raised, like. And that's another thing that people would like to think, that Michael was so weird and he was just so unorthodox. But if you look at the kids, they're pretty normal kids to me, and in fact, they're very humble. And that's nothing that anybody could take away from them, is them wanting to do good in this world. And they were solely raised by one person up until he passed, and they credit the way that they are to their father. So that's something that we should look at. Michael bared good fruit. So that's all I wanted to talk about. Something on the more positive side. So yeah, I'll be back with another video soon. So until next time, see you later.